Hi, everyone. My name is Chris Pareda, and I'm fortunate enough to sit here across from me with Brett Sikora. Brett is the founder and chairman of a much talked about real estate juggernaut, Align. And how you doing, Brett?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good, good. So I've known Brett for a while now, but I really don't think I know him. So I've created a 20 questions in 20 minutes, but knowing Brett, it's probably going to take about 4 minutes, 18 and a half seconds. So why don't we just dive right into it? Are you ready, Brett?
Let's do it.
All right. First question, who are you?
I'm Brett Sikora. I've been in the real estate game since 2007, which we talk about tough markets. That was not a fun one and all these youngins don't know what that was about, that financial collapse yet. But I got my real estate license back in 2007. I owned a landscaping company prior to that, and I knew that there were better ways to make money. So I was seeking, larger commissions, a better lifestyle, that sort of thing, and kind of wanted to leave that 6 a.m. to sunset grind that you get in the landscaping world. So, did that. And during my journey, I found that a lot of coaches, a lot of real estate brokers, a lot of managers within offices don't really know how to get the agents motivated, don't really have the tactical playbooks around that. And I feel like that's really, my journey in the last 15, 16 years as a realtor has led me to this, has led me to Align to make sure that the world of realtors are better. So that's me in a nutshell. That's your 4 minute and 18 second version of who I am.
This is actually going to get to 20 minutes. Okay, what's the favorite quality about yourself, and what's your least favorite quality about yourself?
My favorite quality about myself, I think that the gift of gab. I mean, I feel bad for realtors that can't just hit it and rip. I know that it makes it a little more difficult, so they're going to have to grit their way through it, or they're going to have to really perform on a different level and really follow their calendar to the T. But for me, the gift of gab, and what I would say is Matthew Ferry is one of my coaches. My fundamental misperception is that I'm not okay. So I'm always, which you've experienced this, I'm trying to please people around me. I'm trying to fit in, regardless of where I am in life. That's something that I'm very aware of, and I'm constantly making sure that I keep that down here so that we can continue to move forward.
Great. Okay. What do you know for sure?
What do I know for sure? I know that work, like action, movement beats anything. At the end of the day, a lot of folks focus on, what needs to be perfect, what doesn't need to be perfect. And we joke and say our 80% is going to beat your 100% that never gets started.
Good answer. What don't you know for sure?
What don't I know for sure? I don't know what the rates are going to do. I don't know, I don't know if we're going to end up being in war with China. I don't know what we spoke about yesterday. I don't know if the real estate rates becoming lower are actually going to go in and tank the market, or going to, increase values. I know what I think I know. And if you asked me in April of 2020 if real estate was going to have a crazy run for the next 3 years when we were shut down in the heart of COVID, I would have said, no, it's a scary time.
Well, I always say if we all knew what we know what's going to happen, we'd all be doing this photo shoot on a yacht somewhere.
We are on it. Mentally, I'm on a yacht right
now. Is it easy for you to accept help?
Yeah. I certainly have my opinions around the way that things should go, but I think that what's worked well for me so far is I'm very open, coachable in regards to where we go with certain things. So for instance, a realtor starts as a good salesperson. So then they start to form a team. So you're a small business at that point. A lot of realtors are pretty shitty small business owners, but the ones that make it past that turn into a corporation. And you have to start running as a corporation. And what we've really found in doing this and exploring it with you is that a lot of people can wear a lot of different hats, but at the end of the day, you need to really start getting laser focused and getting into what you're doing and what you're good at. And, we found myself, for instance, is I'm not an expert at mindset. So I bring in Matthew Ferry to help with that, or Alex Anderud. I'm not an expert at running up the mountain first, holding the flag. So we have Eric Eckhart for that. I'm not an expert at social media, so we have Jen Coco for that. We have people around us to make sure that they absolutely, go in and dominate what they do. I'm not an expert at PR, as you know. So we've got you around me.
No, I think that what you're bringing together with Align is identifying. I think one of your strengths is identifying someone else's pain,
right,
and trying to figure out if you can or cannot heal it in an efficient and cost-effective way.
Yeah,
and that's really what Align is about.
Yeah,
it's about taking that team leader who just gets caught in the weeds, is not omnipotent, and we have all these different infrastructure, touch points that can take that pain away, and everybody has different pain.
Right.
So that's what I think. Moving on. This is where it gets fun. What would people say about you if you weren't in the room?
I don't know. Because of my I'm not okay and kind of creating that, wanting folks to, be the best version of themselves, whether I used to always joke, I'd say, if I don't like somebody, they're not going to know that I don't like them.
Okay.
I keep that to myself. So at the end of the day, I'm friends with everybody. I try to be friends with everybody. Mm-hmm. I don't try to make people wrong. I don't try to make people right. I try to just exist and let them, discuss what's important to them or whatever. So I think going about life that way, and that's really like an NLP kind of tactic, being in rapport with people. I would venture to say that I have a pretty good, thought around myself, if I'm not in the room.
Like a self-awareness.
Yeah. I don't think I get bashed too much. I think I got some good street
But
cred.
Is it a genuine? Because what I found with you is being genuine and authentic.
Right.
So you see what you get, what you get. Do A, you'll always get B, kind of thing. And I think you bring that to the table.
Yeah.
As a predictability of a leadership.
Yeah, and you always talk to me too about like the integrity component. That's super important to me. Mm-hmm. I don't lie to people. This is what it is. I'll rip the Band-Aid off, have those conversations if we need to. And I think people appreciate that. And a lot of folks we see it, I've had scenarios where folks from corporate America have been in our organization and they've seen, the way I've responded in regards to something, around ROI or whatever it may be, lead sources, lenders, vendors. And they're like, well, you can't do that in corporate. And I'm like, but we can. Right. You actually can. I could probably do it in corporate too. And you just want to be direct with people. You don't need to sugarcoat these answers because that's what people really appreciate. They want to hear what they don't want to hear. We always talk about it, even with the real estate client, a seller or something like that needs to know about pricing and whatnot. If you're going into a doctor's office and you have cancer, you want the doctor to tell you they have cancer. You don't want him to just, maybe you don't have cancer.
Get your affairs in order.
Right, exactly. It's like you have cancer, right. And then here's how we're going to move forward from that.
Perfect. You've built quite a remarkable organization in quite a short period of time, having 3 offices in New Jersey, 1 in Chicago, and talking to other states and expanding that office. With that comes a lot of trial and error and mistakes. Right. So what would your experienced self now tell your unexperienced self to make their life easier?
So I think that in my experience, I've leased office space that's too big, that doesn't need to be the size of what it is. So that's one thing that I definitely learned, where people think that they need this big glamorous office. But at the end of the day, you need a place, you need a community, you need something where the agents can gather, get together, clients can come, you can have closings, that sort of thing. But I'm still seeing it. The days of those massive offices are completely gone. COVID broke that. So that was definitely something that for me, we've pulled back on the space. We'll grab 1,000 or 1,100 to 2,500 square feet, nothing too big. Not focusing on the P&L. I mean, that's when things are good, not making moves within your P&L quickly was something that I learned the hard way last year. So we were rolling. August of 2022, things started to dry up, and we were coming into that different market because of the rates. With that, we didn't move quick move quickly in regards to like shaving things off and doing this. We waited until December because we thought, oh, maybe things will pick back up. Maybe maybe rates will drop to 5%. Whereas you see the big corporations, you see, LinkedIn or Facebook or whoever, they made their layoffs the second things turned, or they adjusted their P&L. So that forecasting component of a CFO and whatnot, that I think a lot of people, including myself, have had problems. We talk about ROI, we talk about really tracking lead sources and putting money into things and including staff and seeing, great, if I'm paying somebody X amount, is the business earning, 3 times that amount because of the investment in that? So, and Richard Branson.
Well, having that experience with you, I think that analytics, and you're always preaching this, analytics, accountability, and it's got to hit the bottom line.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's
exactly.
it. It's simple. Okay. What's your superpower?
My superpower, I think that for me, it's more so along the lines of like driving culture, community. People talk about it a lot, but at the end of the day, we've never really lost an agent. I mean, we've never lost a producing agent from them not being happy about their production or something like that. So I think that our superpower is really being able to come in, or my superpower is really being able to come in and give that person the experience and give them what they want out of this world and give them that warm and fuzzy so that they're a part of something.
So having experience like you have now, it's easy to lose non-producing agents because they blame everybody but themselves.
Right.
What is the definable attribute? Because it's hard to keep producing agents.
Yeah.
So what attribute would you define as that being primary, that you're maintaining those producing agents?
I mean, for us, I'll actually answer in a different way. I was on a team and I kept hitting ceilings within that team. The team leader didn't have the same growth mindset per se, or didn't have opportunity within the organization. Mm. So for me, I think what works really well. So look, let's just say you want to be a single agent within our organization, you want to make $500,000 a year. If we're going to take a rip off of that, say you're paying us $100,000, I know that you can't go higher the value that we provide for $100,000. There's the economy of scale around that.
Right.
And that's where we go with that. But if somebody wants to become more of a leader within an organization or wants to have their own team, then we have the whole pod set up and we can really get into the sales training component of it as well, which gives you the essence of running your own team anyway.
Can you talk about that pod set up in 4 minutes, 18 and a half seconds?
Yeah.
Yes. Because it is unique. It is unique in a brokerage that sets that up as an org chart versus just bringing on a team with a whole set of 10 people already coming on. Right. So how did you decide to do that, and how did you build it?
Yeah, so when it first came about, it was actually my coach Bill Pipes. He was big guy with Tom Ferry, Chet Black, and now he's out on his own. I believe it's G3 Coaching. But Bill Pipes was like, we're following a militant structure. So, in boot camp, one person leads 8 to 10, folks. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of the idea is, I was up to 30 agents or 40 agents, and we needed to really make sure that, I think it was me and Eric Goldfarb that were managing all of them. And I knew that if I was going to grow, if I wanted to hit $1 billion in real estate sales, I basically needed to create 5 $200 million organizations within that.
Right.
So for me, conceptually, that made it a lot more sense in my head. And I'm like, I just need to keep building $200 million teams.
Yeah.
So that's what we started to do. I identified, was it Eric Eckhart, Andrew Cassie, Eric Goldfarb. We have James Oliver in there now as well, Dan Spitz. So we had Omar Subi. Mm-hmm. And, we were just really focused on tracking KPIs, tracking agent performance, allowing them to be more mentors, deal doctor if they need to be. Really all the stuff that I did when I was back at a $40 million team.
Right. So, it makes sense. And it's working well.
Yeah.
All right. What's your kryptonite?
My kryptonite?
Do you want me to get started on this?
So I really can't stand realtors that put up like a brick wall. Realtors that make things difficult for no reason. And typically it's, I don't want to, because I've had younger realtors that are a problem as well, but typically it's like that older realtor that's been around and they've always done things their way and this, that, and the other thing. And honestly, a lot of them are 5 or 10 years from retirement anyway, or this market's going to take them out too because they're not willing to adapt to, the way that the world's working. So I think that at the end of the day, the experience with getting a call, like if your buyer wants to see a listing and they have questions about it and you call the listing agent and they don't return your call or they just text you, I think it's a disservice to the industry. It's a disservice to the seller. And for me, regardless of where I'm at in life, I've taken a few listings this year. I call everybody back. I have a conversation. I see if I can help them, try to put a deal together. If I hear something that they could be doing better, I'll give them a little advice or something like that. But we're at the end of the day, regardless of what brokerage you're at, realtors need to be aligned. I mean, they need to we're all working together because the seller wants to sell the home and a buyer wants to buy a home. You don't need to get in the way of that. You need to help facilitate that and obviously step in if there's, something you need to do to protect your client.
Yeah. When I had my own shop, I welcomed downturns in market.
Yeah.
Because I look at that as opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
How is Align setting up to look at what's happening now? And I don't look at it as a down market. I look at it as a normalized market.
Right.
It was crazy during the pandemic, and now we're getting back to center and normal. How is Align setting itself up to take advantage of that and to grow the business?
Yeah, so obviously, we focus heavily on agent production and the KPIs and what they need to be doing to make sure that they're earning money. Mm-hmm. That's an important piece of the puzzle. We talk about, I was talking, with Andy earlier about data that I pulled, and I think I brought it up on yesterday's call, where if you look at Warren Township, where I live in Somerset County, 2019, pre-COVID market, there's actually more home sales happening right now than there were in that normal market. So essentially, we are a completely normal market. There's other towns where things are down a little bit too from transaction count. The home prices are still through the roof. Right. But with that, I put the blinders on. I think that we're coming through the winter months. I think that people are getting nervous, they're getting scared. And when we were talking to our Zillow Flex rep yesterday, he's like, it's nice to see that you guys are, you're excited about it.
Right.
People need help. Realtors need help. Sellers need help. Buyers need help. And we're that steady base to, really call home and navigate this. I mean,
so I think Align, the way I see it and how you're building it, and I think it's the right way to do it, is you're not necessarily a salesperson. You're looking for lifetime clients in a more consultative fashion.
Yeah.
So we don't have to do the deal today, but
we'll
just keep touching you. We'll keep giving you information. And when you're ready, we're here.
Yep.
It's the way to do it. All right. Do you play a music instrument?
I don't. My mom is my mom played at Carnegie Hall though.
Played what?
Flute.
I thought you were going to say the oboe or something like that.
And my sister was in percussion and marching band and everything. So I come from it. My mom was always upset that I didn't play an instrument because she said I had it. I had perfect pitch. Whatever that means.
But that means singing. That's not an instrument.
No, but she said you could listen to you hear how, the keys and all of that stuff to play.
We'll do karaoke after. I'll show you pitch. No, my dad almost killed my mom because it's almost like the Brady Bunch, dating myself. My mom bought me a drum set.
Yeah.
And learning how to play drums, there's a long learning curve.
Yeah.
So it's just all banging. I could play pretty well now, so I'm a drummer. Well, learning how to play guitar, but I'm a drummer.
Drumming's fun too, because it's even when you're good at it, even if you be the best drummer in the world, you still don't want to hear the drums going off in your neighborhood,
Well, this is true, but every band will tell you, and you go from Metallica to U2, they'll always say it's the drummer. If you don't have the drummer, you don't have the band.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or unless you're the Edge, who's just like some psychological genius or whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
Best live show you've ever seen?
Incubus, Hershey Park. It was incredible. It was when Incubus.
At least you didn't say Six Flags.
Yeah, I was like 17 years old, and it was when Incubus was kind of big enough, but small enough where it was an intimate. Only 10 rows deep kind of thing. Good. It was a really cool show, and I was like, wow. Good. Yeah, I've seen them 4 or 5 times at this point, but that show was incredible.
What's a band you haven't seen that you wish you did?
Rod Stewart.
Really?
Yeah. curveball.
That is
And
a
I
curveball.
spit that out,
I'm like
too.
Van Halen or something.
So-
Rod Stewart.
Yeah, because I feel like Rod
Jesus.
Stewart. Bruce
Can we
Springsteen-
cut and start over? Can we edit that one out?
No, Rod Stewart. Bruce Springsteen I haven't
Jesus.
seen either, but Rod Stewart, before COVID came about, he was playing in Vegas, and so like Billy Joel, we got great seats. I went and saw Billy Joel.
Okay.
I want to go see Springsteen, but I want to see him like front row and just literally throw a mortgage payment at the tickets. I wanted to do that with Rod Stewart as well, and now I feel like it's too old. You know, he's there, so I don't know if it'll be the same.
It's like trying to watch AC/DC right now. It's not like they go out with walkers and stuff. It's just I saw a picture on Facebook the other day with Angus Young, and it didn't look good.
Fun fact.
It wasn't a good look.
About not good looks. I used to work at the Baker Ballroom in Dover, New Jersey, and I was a follow spot operator. So I was, spotlights, I would help set up with, the crew and everything like that. And Tom Jones came and did
It's
a
getting
show.
worse.
And the
Can
women,
we cut again?
And the
It's
women
getting
were
worse.
still throwing their panties on the
Of
stage.
course they are.
So
They still are.
I'm 13 years old or 14 years old at the time. And I was the guy that had to sweep up the old women's panties on the stage at the Baker Ballroom.
Well, I used to work at Hogs and Heifers, and they were always throwing their bras at me, and we just decided to start hanging them up.
There you go.
That's silly.
Perfect.
What decade do you wish you grew up in, and why?
I really like when I grew up. I mean, I feel like the 80s is great. I was saying yesterday to it was Dan Cohen out of the Captivate office that what's fun about me is I'm old enough where I was able to ride a bicycle without a helmet and like get lost without cell phones and stuff at night, and my mom never knew where I was. But I'm young enough where I'm able to really tie into the technology side of things and understand that. So I don't know.
Listen,
I
I
love the
I
80s.
give my computer and my iPhone to my 15-year-old. He's like, Dad, I got this.
Yeah.
It's like that old Saturday Night Live skit where he comes in and he's trying to fix. He's like, I don't understand. He's like, get out of the way, and he starts typing, and he insults them. So yeah, comfort food. Your go-to, 100% bad day, cold out, warm out. What's your comfort
I
food?
can eat Mexican like nonstop.
Really?
Yeah. If Taco Bell, for instance, I mean that's a bad Mexican reference, but
yeah.
if Taco Bell were healthy, I'd have a 6-pack. I could eat that.
So
8
you
meals
also
a day.
have a big investment in toilet paper. So I should buy toilet paper stocks.
I think the people that can't
Jesus.
digest Taco Bell are the weak.
Anyone could digest Taco Bell at 4 a.m. Anyone can do that. All right. This is one of my favorites. You're flipping through the channels, what no one does anymore, and you hit a movie. Doesn't matter where you hit it, middle, front, end. Where are you stopping to watch the movie to the end? What movie?
Ooh. I don't know. You know what's really? You know what? I got it. I do have it.
You do have it?
The
Okay.
Departed. That is a
great movie.
fantastic movie, and I watched it on a flight not too long ago, and it was like it ended. The flight ended before the movie did.
Yeah.
So I had to go finish it like in the hotel room.
Yeah.
And last night I was flying back from Chicago last night. Another great movie that was on the United app, Perfect Storm, and same thing. I was at the last 20
Good
minutes,
calls.
and the flight landed.
Good cause.
But yeah.
I Got a Few Good Men.
Okay.
I may have seen that movie 500 times. I think.
You're
It's
not-
great acting. It's great cast. It's all,
I know.
but The Departed, that's a good one.
That's a good movie.
That's a really good one. I might have to watch that tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Mets or Yankees?
So interesting for me. I mean, I'm more of a Yankees guy, but I don't follow sports.
Okay.
I
Oh,
saw
that
those
goes with that
questions
whole
on
Rod Stewart reference.
So
okay, I got it.
So yeah, I'm just a diehard Rod Stewart fan that has no time to spare.
I should have said Rod, or who's the other guy you brought up? Tom Jones. I should have said Rod Stewart or Tom Jones.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to ask this. You only get to see one other concert for the rest of your life. Is it Rod Stewart in their prime or Tom Jones?
I
in
don't
their
like
prime?
Tom Jones.
You said it. You made a reference to
because
it.
I was working at that concert.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, definitely. I would go. I'm a Rod.
All right,
Stewart
so I'm
fan.
going to kill this one. That was the question. I was going to say Giants or Yankee, or Giants or Jets, but you don't watch sports.
So yeah. Well, no, I mean I know enough about it. So for me, I was really into the Jets this season, as I think a lot of people were. I
agree.
I never bet on anything, and I downloaded the BetMGM app just to bet on the Jets winning the Super Bowl. And what was it, the third play or fourth play of the season?
Right.
We lost his Achilles. Even your
This weekend for sports, both the Cleveland game and the Jets game was just amazing.
Yeah.
But I get excited about, I'll watch the finals of badminton.
Yep.
When it's all on the line and the winner takes all.
Yep.
I'll watch that. Like I watched that, what's that one sliding sport with this?
Curling.
Curling. don't watch curling unless it's the Olympics.
Yeah.
And the girls don't look so bad on curling either.
I watch
but-
curling with Rod Stewart playing in the background.
Jesus Christ, it's getting worse. All right, hold on. Hopefully this is almost over. Snow or sand?
Oh, that's a tough one too. I would say sand, but I'm a big snow guy too.
Okay.
Yeah, I do enjoy a beach.
Okay. All right.
I just like swimming in the ocean. I need to be moving.
Jesus.
I can't
No, I
lay
just
on
have
the
this
beach.
vision of you swimming in the ocean and Rod Stewart swims by.
Yeah.
And you start like
Perfect
thinking,
hair.
do you think I'm sexy? Yeah.
First song I ever karaoke, by the way.
Yeah. It's getting
Tough.
worse, guys. It's
Really
getting-
tough.
We can't produce this.
Really
This
tough,
can't be done.
Really tough song to sing karaoke wise.
No, it's not. I'll show you outside after the work day. Early bird or night owl?
Definitely a night owl, but because of what I do for work, I'm an early bird.
Okay, good. And finally, are you a Swiftie?
No. No.
You know why you're not?
Why?
Listen, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I have a 13-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
And I asked her, because I was like just perusing tickets when she was at the MetLife. And I'm just like, Jesus, I mean, I got to take like 3 more jobs to do this. And I said, honey, do you want to see because I remember my first concert was Bruce Springsteen, 1976 at the Spectrum in Philadelphia.
Yep.
I'll never forget it. So I'm like, I want to have that memory with my daughter. And I'm like, do you want to go to Taylor Swift? She goes, I hate Taylor Swift. I'm like, yes. And that's a wrap, gentlemen. So a pleasure talking to you, Brett. And wait until your daughter turns 13. Hopefully Taylor Swift will be married and you just take her to football games and watch it with.
My last fun fact too, before we wrap on the
Yeah.
concert side of things. First concert, Whitney Houston.
Guys, please do something.
Second concert,
Do something.
Michael Bolton.
Oh, jeez. All right, I'm in.
I'll see you guys
All right,
later.
guys. See ya. I'm out of here. Jeez.